everyone, I'm Gabby. Welcome to my channel, Frog with a Blog. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I'm so happy that you're here. If you're new here, my goal for this channel is to give my experience traveling with my little ones. That way, hopefully I can give some tips, tricks, and hints at what can make your travels or just your adventures with your family easier for you. So let's get started. Be sure to check out my last video. It goes over part 1 of my Disney World trip with my 2-month-old daughter. It covered our travel day getting to Orlando, Florida, and getting to our hotel. This video is going to pick up with our day at Magic Kingdom. And stay tuned, subscribe, click the like button if you like this video, and look forward to part 3 of our Disney World trip, which will cover Hollywood Studios, our rest day, and getting back home. So, leading into our Disney World trip, like I said in the last video, didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of research, but I did look to see, generally where we were going to eat for the day, or at least for breakfast, since we would have at that point been on a plane, got in super late, and waking up knowing that we're going to go to Magic Kingdom. So I did look at Crystal Palace, which is a buffet or character dining, that the characters of Winnie the Pooh come around and greet your table. And it's a buffet. They have a breakfast buffet and a lunch dinner buffet. So breakfast was fine for us and it was cheaper. So I did do a reservation the day before we flew out for Crystal Palace, which I guess now on the back end, looking at it, we did get lucky on, because a lot of the, especially character dining places, you need to book out super far in advance. Some of them being as soon as you are able to book, which is 60 days prior if you're staying at a resort. So being able to get a character dining 2 days before is really good. So again, leading into day 1, we knew we had our breakfast reservation at 10 o'clock for Crystal Palace. So we didn't plan on rope dropping or any of that nonsense. We weren't waking up super early since we had a late night. We set our alarms for 8 or so. We did place an order for groceries with Instacart that was set to deliver around 3 or so. We knew we were going to take a break from Magic Kingdom, and we knew we would be back at the hotel at that time. For the parks itself, though, I took her stroller, her car seat, a waterproof stroller cover, because I read Florida, it can rain a lot. I took her over the car seat toy, high contrast, black and white, so that way she had that to look at if she wanted to. I took our bag that was empty, and in that I put 2 of the spraying, misting water bottle fan things that you can press the button and it'll spray water on you as the fan's going. I had my Stanley, I had 5 extra bottles of water. We took a few snacks, like dry snacks, that we brought. We took her diaper bag, of course, with the diapers, wipes, change of clothes, all of that. I took some hats so that way we could be in the shade. I could be missing something, but that was the majority of what we took. And like I said, I did put all of those items in the empty bag that I took, which was really good, because whenever you get onto the bus, they did let us know that you'd have to break down the stroller. With staying at Disney Springs Hotel, Holiday Inn, they did have a bus that we could take to the parks, which was nice. You did have to reserve it. So when we checked in, they gave us like a little coupon book. And on that coupon book, it gave us a QR code and like a code word that we were supposed to put in at checkout for the shuttle. And we had to select like which park we're going to, what time we were leaving, what time we were coming back, and put in the code. Otherwise, I guess you'd have to pay for it, but since we're staying at the Disney Springs Hotel, we didn't have to pay for it. So we did have to reserve it. I did it, although the front desk said we didn't necessarily have to. So when we were done getting ready, we went downstairs. We got ready early, so that way we were ready for the bus when it came. There wasn't really a sign or anything. We asked the front desk person again when we got downstairs, like, hey, where do we go? And they were like, you're going over there. And it was like, okay, cool. So for us, when the bus did arrive at the sketchy place at the end of the driveway, we met the bus. The driver was super friendly. He mentioned like, hey, you're on vacation. We're so glad that you're here. We hope that you enjoy your Disney experience. He did have me break down the stroller, which totally understandable. So I broke down the stroller, grabbed the not empty bag anymore, but grabbed that bag. My mom grabbed my daughter in her car seat. And I, like I said, broke down the stroller, handed it to him, and he put it below the bus. The bus did not go straight to Magic Kingdom. It did stop at other hotels. So that was, I mean, it was okay for us because we didn't have anything crazy going on. So if you are on a time crunch and you need to be somewhere specific, just keep that in mind. I didn't time it, but it took maybe about 20-ish or 30-ish minutes to get to Magic Kingdom with the extra stops and actually getting there. When I say the Magic Kingdom, I mean to the TTC, so the Ticket and Transportation Center. I could be saying that wrong, but I know it's TTC. So once we got there, the driver just pretty much said, look at where I'm dropping you off. Come back to the spot whenever you're ready to go back. And be sure you reserved your tickets for the return bus. So it was like, okay, cool. I put the stroller back together. I really opened up my thing. So I put the fans on her stroller that were aimed towards her. I put our sunscreens in my little pouches in the stroller. I put my hat on. So pretty much just took my stuff out of the bag and set it up based on what we were going to be needing it for while we were there. So that's a good place to do it, I suppose. The TTC, since we already had our tickets, we didn't have to purchase any while we were there. So we just went through security. Myself and my daughter went through one line because she had her stroller. And my mom went through another line for people without, I guess, like bags and kids, I guess. Security was fine. There wasn't a crazy line. Again, at this point, it was probably like, I don't know, 9-ish, getting close to 10. So I assume all the people who were rope dropping and really had a time crunch and needed to be on rides at a certain time, they were already through. So the line was pretty much just walking on through. So that was good. So we decided to go on the ferry boat. I didn't want to take the ramp up to the monorail, although it looked cool, but I was like, oh, the ferry boat sounds nice, so let's do that. Good scenery. It was super scenic. It was nice just being able to get some wind in your face, and the vibes on the ferry boat were really high. Everybody was excited. So I was like, okay, this is good. I put on more sunscreen since I didn't really put it on when I was getting off the bus. I just put the sunscreen to where I needed it. So put on sunscreen on us, and once we got to Magic Kingdom, got off the ferry boat, we already had our ticket. I had it. I didn't have a magic band. Like I said, it's still new to Disney, so I just had the tickets on my phone. I did save them to my Apple Wallet, so I just pulled them up through there. It took not even any time, maybe 2 seconds, because I already had it up. So going through security was really easy. They gave us a little card that had characters on it. So I got a card. My mom got a card. We did our fingerprint. And so that was super easy. My mom did need a motorized scooter. She was able to get one, so that was good. We went through Main Street, got our pictures. I'm driving with one hand trying to take her pictures because there's people everywhere, and I'm like swerving around them and trying to get like good pictures of her. She couldn't care less where she was because she's 2 months old. So got some pretty okay pictures leading up to Crystal Palace. So once we got to Crystal Palace, I did see that it said to park your stroller outside. So at first I did, and they were like, you can bring your stroller in with her. You don't have to leave it out there. So I was like, oh, thank you so much, because trying to eat with her, still new to the whole parenting thing, and having her in her carrier, I did not want to drop syrup on her hair or any food crumbs on her. So I was like, oh, this is good. So I can put her in her stroller or in her car seat while I was eating. So that was good. They put us at a corner table. It was really good. We had a lot of space, so we didn't have to worry about people being like stacked right on top of us. The characters were there pretty much as soon as we walked in. I believe Tigger was at the front. And then we saw all the rest of the gang all walking around at different tables. It wasn't too busy. It was, I mean, I didn't know any better, so I was like, this is great. What a vibe. So we went to our table. Waiter greeted us right away. He was super nice, super helpful. Just like, hey, we have a buffet situation going on here. Feel free to go get your food. The characters are walking around. They'll come through multiple times. So I mean, we're glad that you're here. And I was like, I'm so happy to be here too. So we did have the characters come through. We took pictures with them. It was a blast. So I believe the first one was with Winnie the Pooh. I did get pictures, tons of pictures with Winnie and my daughter. And I didn't realize until after looking back at the pictures, because my mom had my phone taking pictures for me as well, that was like the first time in one of the pictures that we were taking, as I'm like smiling ear to ear, so happy to be there with my daughter. She like kind of like looked over at him and just like rubbed the red part of his shirt. And I didn't see that until afterwards. And I was obsessed when I saw that picture. I like called my husband. I'm like sitting to him. I'm like, oh my God, look, it's the first time she's acknowledging stuff. It was great. Love that. That was immediately favorited. It was immediately distributed. It was great. So I love that for us. But we did meet the other characters too. We were super happy about everybody. Eeyore, we have a basset hound who mopes around just like Eeyore. So depressed looking, but you know bassets, if you have a basset, they look so depressed, but they're so spoiled. They're so loved. They're just so, love them. So Eeyore was fun. He was a hoot. That Piglet, again, I didn't realize till afterwards when I was looking through my pictures. I'm like, oh my God, I had bacon on my plate as Piglet's coming through. At that point, my daughter was sleeping, so they made a note and they were like, okay, we'll come back around when she wakes up. And I'm like, okay, good. We did get some food while we were there. Got some Mickey waffles, eggs, fruit, water, orange juice, a lot of things. It was really good breakfast. We got there around like 10:30ish or so. No, it was before 10:30 because I think that's the cutoff for when lunch starts, which I did not plan it that way at all. But there is a cutoff for breakfast to lunch, and they just kind of start putting out the lunch food. So we were able to get there, get our breakfast foods, meet the characters, and like as we're still eating, I wanted to go back to get some more fruit because again, I am postpartum. I'm still trying to eat healthier. Just need hydrating food since I was nursing. So super thirsty, need hydration. So with me going back and getting more food, I'm like, hey, they have like lunch food out. Can we get some? I asked my waiter because I was so brand new. I was like, I don't want to get charged anything extra because it already cost a good bit to eat there. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So I was like, wow, this is wonderful. So that was cool. So maybe if you're somebody who wants to eat a little bit of both, breakfast, lunch, brunch, go around that time when the breakfast lunch transition is, because you don't get charged for the lunchtime food. You still get charged for the breakfast. So that's wonderful. Again, did not plan that. So that was good. Just a whole bunch of happy coincidences happening so far. So it was great. But we didn't stay too long. I was already pretty full, just wanted my fruit, honestly. So, got my fruit, got some more water. Piglet did come back around when she woke up. So we got our pictures. Again, my daughter didn't know where she was, so didn't really matter, but got our pictures with Tigger. It was a hoot. It was such a vibe. So I highly recommend Crystal Palace. I do plan to go back whenever we go back because it was just so lively, so fun, so positive. So look forward to that in our videos coming up. But that was our breakfast. So I went to the baby care center first since it was right next door to Crystal Palace. It was super nice, not too busy. Again, I didn't have anything to compare it to, but not too busy. They had an area that you can change your baby. It had like 4 or 5 different changing pad areas that super clean. There were attendants everywhere. So as soon as somebody would leave, they would get the place all cleaned up and then it's like nothing happened. It was great. So I changed her. They had a nursing room that had like rocking chairs. I think it was like close to 10 rocking chairs in there with a little table in between each of them. So the table was really nice though. I could put my phone and my water there, and I put my diaper bag next to us on the ground. And it wasn't too busy in there either. It wasn't like ladies all lined up, all sitting next to each other. I think at any given time that I did have to go to the baby care center, there was only maybe 2 other mothers in there. So it was good, super private. Everybody was nice. It wasn't like side-eyeing you and anything like that. So that was helpful for me. So I got to feed my baby in peace, air conditioning, got to make sure I changed her diaper. They did have a little gift shop in there that had like baby essential, toddler essential things, and you know, some outfits for them. I didn't until until the evenings. So the last time I went to the baby care center that day at Magic Kingdom, I ended up getting her one of the Minnie Mouse footies. Such a splurge. I did not need to get it because as soon as I got it, and you know, days later when I washed it, when I got back home and everything, she grew out of it. So I didn't even get to wear it, but it's cute. So maybe we'll have another kid so that way they can wear it. But that was my experience thus far at the baby care center. So highly recommend. Definitely go. It's super nice, super convenient, and another place in air conditioning. After we left the baby care center, I again looked at the maps while I was still in air conditioning, and I was like, all right, where's the next air conditioning place we can go? And that happened to be the Hall of Presidents. So we took some really nice pictures in front of the castle. So we watched the show. I fed her again while we were there because if she could eat, I fed her whenever I could, just so that way I knew that, all right, I have another, at that time she was eating like every 2 hours. So it's like, all right, I got another 2 hours before I need to feed her again. So it's really strategic on air conditioning, somewhere I can feed her, somewhere I can change her diaper, but air conditioning. At that point, we pretty much called it wraps. My mom, for her electric scooter, she was able to keep the reservation for it, although she didn't technically reserve it, but she just gave them some information. I forget what information she gave them, but they said as long as she's back by 6 o'clock, then she still will have a scooter to come back to. So I was like, okay, great, we'll be back by 6. We waited for the bus for, it was a good minute because it was hot outside. So we waited for the bus for close to like 20-30 minutes, which was a long time in the heat with the baby. So we kept her cool, had the misting fans, had the fans on her. So she was fine, honestly, but just like as her parent, as her mom, having to keep her cool and making sure like she's okay, it was a lot. It was very stressful. So yeah, I don't recommend that. Now that I know a little bit more about Disney World, I've learned that you can take minivans. They cost a little bit more through Lyft, but you can order them through Lyft, or we could have gotten an Uber or a Lyft. But like I said, I didn't really know better at the time, and I knew that the bus was free and we didn't have much time to plan. So we kind of just waited for the bus, got back to the hotel, relaxed, got her out of her clothes, did her a good baby wipe down. My mom took a nap, I got some food, and we just relaxed. We knew we needed to be back by 6 o'clock, so we set our alarms for 4:30 to start getting back up, putting her in her evening Florida clothes, and getting ourselves ready, getting the stroller back ready, making sure that any of the water that we did use, we replenished that, just so that we were ready for the next part of our day at Magic Kingdom. Well, we made sure we reserved the bus, went back downstairs, waited for the bus. This bus driver was super rude. They like sped through the stop sign area, and there was a bus right behind them. So we were like, what happened with that bus? And the next bus, like they came up and they were like, oh, do you need that bus? And we were like, yeah. And they asked, where are you going? Magic Kingdom? Oh, you needed that bus. Yeah, I know. He just like sped through here. So they were like, all right, well, get on the bus and we'll try to catch up with them. It's like, okay. And they didn't really offer much help on getting my stroller or anything. So my mom got my daughter. I broke down the stroller, put it under the bus. We finally caught up with them. I think at like the first or second hotel, whichever the next 2 stops were, we finally were able to catch up with the other bus. driver had kind of an attitude, like I didn't speed through there. It's like, my guy, if I had my video recording, you would see you and flashed by me. Okay. But regardless, had a little bit of an attitude, didn't really like it. So I didn't really get the best impressions on those free buses from the Disney Springs area. I don't know, maybe they're just used to dealing with people who maybe aren't where they're supposed to be, although there aren't signs that tell you where you need to be. But don't recommend. Got back to Magic Kingdom, went through the ferry boat again, security, got back in. My mom was able to get her scooter, so that was good. And started our second part of the day at Magic Kingdom. So we went through Tomorrowland. I wanted to hit up everything that I could that I thought I needed to do with her. So we went through the Laugh Factory. That was a blast. Although I am not a fan of the rides that they could put you on the spot. Like, I just want to be like low key, disappear into the background. And they were like, you know, calling people out on different things. And I'm like, oh, I wanted a place with air conditioning so I can breastfeed my daughter. So, I mean, it was fun. It was fine. And they set us in the front and it was super loud, but I had her diaper bag with me. So I was able to put her headset on so it didn't affect her. But yeah, I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. Although my husband did warn me, I didn't listen. He would laugh about that. But, I mean, it was fun. It was fine. So once we got off of that, I was like, all right, now I actually need a dark place that I can feed her at, since I didn't want to do that and accidentally get put on camera at the Laugh Factory. So we went to the Carousel of Progress. Love that ride. Again, there was no wait. It was so easy to get on. My mom with her scooter, they were able to let her go in with the scooter, and they told her we can either get out, or she can stay in her scooter and park in the front, and I can sit in one of those like 2 to 3 seat areas next to her, or she can get out of the scooter on the side and we can go into the rows. So we went to the front, and that was good. I was able to feed her up there. If you've never been on the Carousel of Progress, it's just a big circular ride that you're looking at a scene, you stop, and you know, you look at the scene, and then when it needs to rotate, it just rotates, but you stay in your seat. There's nothing dangerous about it, so perfectly fine for a 2-month-old baby. And it had air conditioning, so that was wonderful. So love that ride. Can't wait to go on it again when we get back. We did hear about the People Mover, but we didn't get a chance to go on it. The line was really long, and I don't know, at that point of the day, I was like, I don't know, anything with the long lines just did not do it for me. So we walked around for a little bit and then got some food, got some chicken tenders and fries. I didn't really, like I said, have much time to do research on food. So I was like, we'll just do something easy, chicken tenders and fries, I guess. So we got that and then tried to find a spot for the fireworks show, because at that point in time, it was close to when it was about to happen. So that was maybe 20 minutes before. Whew, it was a lot of people everywhere. Oh my gosh. They had the attendants that were telling people where to go, directing the traffic, letting us know that there was a handicap or a, accessible area that we could go to. We went to that area. They said they was all full. I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? There's people everywhere. I didn't want to be, you know, bumping elbows with people, especially with my daughter. I don't like all the germs. It's already hot enough as it is out here. Like, whew, need to calm down here. So we found a smaller, I wouldn't say a quieter area, but we weren't in the middle of Main Street. We weren't anywhere near any of that, but we were over to a small side area. I would say the first 5 minutes or so, we stood there watching it, and then I didn't know how long the fireworks show lasted. So I was like, oof, I really do not want to be waiting in this line when people are trying to get out of here. So I told my mom, and we started going back towards the ferry boat area. She turned in her stroller. We were still able to see the fireworks like over the buildings as we were walking. I got a good picture in front of Magic Kingdom as we were exiting, so that was good too. Could still see the fireworks. Got in line for the ferry boat. There wasn't a line because at that point in time, it was probably 10 minutes into the show. So there wasn't a line to get onto the ferry boat. So got on the ferry boat. It didn't take off until the fireworks show was complete, which was fine because it still wasn't everybody onto the boat at that point in time. It took off right when the show ended. So it was the few people of us that were on the ferry boat. We ended up going to the TTC, waited 40 minutes for the bus to get there, and then was on the bus probably 30 minutes before we got back to the hotel. So it was a long day. It was a lot of waiting for a bus or waiting for transportation, getting back. And then once we got back to the hotel, we took our showers, got everything reset because I wasn't quite for sure at that point in time what we were doing on the next day, but I just wanted to have everything ready just in case. And that was it on the first day. And that's about it, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel and look forward to part 3, which again will cover our Hollywood studios, our rest day at our hotel, and traveling back with my 2-month-old daughter. So see y'all again next time. Thanks, y'all.